G'day guys, welcome to this week's Laughaholics video. Today's joke's all about bank managers. Well, one bank manager in particular. This little old lady comes into a bank one day and she goes up to the teller and she says, look, I need to see your bank manager about depositing a sizable amount of cash. So the teller ushers the old lady into the manager's office. And the manager looks up and says, and what can I help you with today? And she drops this big bag of money on the manager's desk. He says, I would like to open a new account and deposit this cash. And the manager looks at the big bag and says, how much have you got there? She says, $180,000. And the manager sort of, strokes his chin. He says, $180,000. If you don't mind me asking, how did you come about such a large amount of money? And the old woman says, well, you see, I take bets. And the manager says, you take bets? What do you mean? And she says, well, take for example, I bet you $50,000 that your balls are square. And the manager says, that's a ridiculous bet. There's no way you could win that sort of a bet. And the old woman says, really? Okay then, why don't you take me up on that bet? And the manager says, fine. I bet you $50,000 that my balls are not square. And the old woman says, you're on. But because of the amount of this bet, I'm going to need my lawyer to be present. So I'll be back here again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. sharp. Manager's fine. Let's do it. So anyway, that night, he's wandering around his home and he's a bit nervous and he continues to check his balls to make sure that they're not square. And then he couldn't put up with it anymore, so he just went to bed. The next morning, 10 a.m. sharp, the old woman arrives with a lawyer. And then she repeats the bet to the manager. So, the bet is $50,000 that your balls are square, correct? And the manager says, yep. She says, okay, you're going to have to drop your dacks and show me. So the manager drops down his trousers and his underwear and the old woman's scrutinizing his balls. And she says, well, it's really pretty hard to tell. I'm going to have to feel them if that's okay with you. And the manager says, yeah, I understand. And it's a sizable bet and you want to make sure. So not a problem. So then the old woman grabs the manager's balls and the manager's looking at the woman's lawyer and he's quietly banging his head against the wall. And he says to the old woman, what's wrong with your lawyer? He said, it's nothing. I bet him $200,000 that by 10 a.m. this morning, I would have the bank manager's balls in my hand. As always, I hope you liked that joke, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with all your friends. And I hope to see you back this time next week for my next Laughaholics video. As always, loved having you here, guys. Hope to see you then. This is Peter from My Bonzo channel, signing off. Catch you later, guys.